So, oh, oops, I forgot again. Give me a second. Ah, this is truly peak professionalism on my part. Just 1 second. God, of course I set up everything for this except for the model. Good job, me. There I am. Hello. Come here, Nico. You know what, chat? I am giving you the task of taking care of Nico. Good luck. Okay, adjust myself a bit. There. He's not always trying to claw me. Hi, Sheva. Hi, Neil. Welcome. It is I, Lefe, back once more for my TTRPG bullshit. This time with a bit more professionalism. If everything is working accordingly, which it should, song requests should be working now. Please do test it out. I figured out how to do song requests, but thank you very much, Nami, because good God, I am sometimes a headless chicken for this kind of shit. How do we do that? Have you never been in a Nami stream, Neo? Just do the same command. Just exclamation point SR and then the name or link of the song. Thanks, Seba. Okay, so there is a problem. Why the hell is it not playing? The body is recognizing it, but... Huh. Okay, so what's the problem here? Settings. Yes. Take me to settings. So why is it not playing audio? This is weird. Huh. What the fuck? Okay, oh, wait, it is playing on your end. Why is it not playing on mine? What the hell? Oh, this is bullshit. Give me a second. It's playing loudly. Let me lower it. There. A little bit more. I'm gonna... Yeah, for some reason it's not playing for me. I don't know why. Kinda weird. Hmm. Hmm. It's weird because I'm pretty sure I was hearing this before. Back when I was testing it out. Some songs don't work. I had it happen once or twice on Nami streams. Oh. Maybe? I don't know, let's try the next one. Ugh. Well, no, because your song doesn't work either, Neo. Ugh, give me a second, I will check. I don't get it because when Like, yeah, you guys hear it, I get that, but I'm not hearing them for some reason, which is weird because I was definitely hearing them before. So I don't know why. I was hearing them when I was testing stuff out. Okay, I'm gonna stop the music for a moment. Give me a sec. Just gonna test something real quick. No, this doesn't allow me to edit it in any way. Weird. Oh, now it works. Oh, wait, no, it's only... Huh. So yeah, that cuts the song. You don't hear it. Why do I stop hearing it when I'm showing it on stream? I don't get it. Because I'm definitely not hearing it from OBS or anything. I'm so confused. Maybe, let's see. Maybe it's something I need to check on my own. Let's see. Control audio, use custom phrase, shutdown, refresh browser. Cancel. Advanced audio properties. Oh, now I hear it. Okay. Hmm. Do you guys hear the song double or is it fine on your end? Okay, I guess I just had to change the way the thing monitored the audio. So because now I can monitor the audio, I can now hear it. Okay, well, that works. What do you mean it went quiet? Is that better? Okay, okay. Then that's it. Okay, so I have okay, so there is an option that basically allows me to monitor the audio, and apparently I can make it so that you guys hear the audio that I'm monitoring instead of the output. But now that I can monitor the audio, I should be able to listen to the music while it plays for you guys. So wonderful. It's there. It's playing. Yes, Neo. It's just a very quiet song because you guys haven't posted any new songs. So it's now playing my backup list, which is just about Valhalla OST. All right, there's a song. Let's do it. Oh God, Saber, why? I, I, now I kinda wish I had something allowed me to head bob like Nami does. God, you dorks. Alright. Well, now that we have music, and it's appropriately at a decent volume, we can begin. Uh, hello? Okay. Give me a second, Windows is being weird. Is it because of Discord? No. Is it because of Firefox? No. Oh, I think I know why it is. It's because of you. No, okay. It's because of you. No. Because of you. No. Well, I don't know what's causing Windows to be weird, but oh well. Oh, I think that fixed it. Never mind. Oh, there we go. Spotify, fuck off. Being out of working civilian justice, so yeah, have fun. It's on the heck out. Okay, pat. Alrighty then, now we can proper start. Now I have actually figured out everything to do with this. Only took 10 minutes. Not too bad. So, how's everyone going? Welcome to round 2 of this. Out of however many rounds I can make of this before I stop having topics to talk about and then I become increasingly anxious about doing these things. Hello. My heart, my heart. Well, no one is replying to the very kind question I asked, so I guess I will start talking. Estimates. No one likes small talk anymore. Don't worry, neither do I. So let's talk about the RPG's fate. The fuck are you? Oh my god, it's the perception check song. Are you kidding me? I can't believe they actually made a song of that. Holy shit. I go reading to the by some violence, now the bard section. Jesus Christ, you're taking a long time with that one. I have another test on Tuesday. Best of luck, Seba. If you need any help, I'm here. Found around the RPG while on YouTube. Ooh, well, do feel free to share. This is the right place to talk about it, my dear friend. God, it's a fucking the amount of fucking llamas, amazing. But yes, Becky, feel free to share with the class what you have found. Come on, give me something juicy to start with. The child, God. So guys, just read on tomorrow. I mean, like I said, well, what is the test about actually? Like how choosing as if I failed the course and not to take the job training that's start next year. Jeez. The just wish I could share because of 10 megabyte limit on Discord. I mean, you could just share the link to the page where you found the thing. You know? Couldn't read any last few days because I was hanging with pain. Also, the 11-hour stream. God, I can't believe you played Chains for 11 goddamn hours. Like, you guys are insane. This is about analytics and sample taking. What do you mean you think? What the... I'm about to kick you out of this stream so you can go focus on your goddamn test. You have to make an account that way, but sure. I mean, man. What's another account to the pile? I don't know if I translated it correctly to English. Bad. Why you guys have a strange infatuation with nightcore versions of music? Kakyoji's Steam Synthwave 80s remix, huh? Alright. Yeah, these are all interesting things for sure. Makes you feel any better? I haven't put any music in. It does not make me feel any better. In fact, it makes me sad. Yes, I said we. I said you, Dio, because Pain also also has like a shit ton of nightcore songs. There, sent a link. Let's see, what is this? Utopia TTRPG. Alright, let's check this out. Talent tree system. You can maneuver from a tank to here to a tinkerer all within a single campaign. Witness the top best mechanic in your storytelling experience. List of items and spells for all settings, where that begins the midst of the exploration, but you know you demand more advanced rules to craft weapons and armor. Okay, so it's a free TTRPG as well. Yeah, definitely will download this. I mean, if fucking free. If fucking free, oh my god. Ah, but it's because it's a beta. Okay, I see. It is a prototype. I understand now. That was very interesting. Thank you for sharing with the class, Becky. Really appreciate it. Have some non-nightcore. Secret Agent 23 Skidoo. Universal Joint. What? What the hell are these titles? YouTuber that made it legit origin made a 170 pound space cost thing for the ND5A origin, and his player went, you just make your own TTRPG. What is with this shit? And he did. I mean, yeah. If you're gonna make a manual size homebrew of a game, you might as well just make your own game. To be honest, like at that point, you're just trying too hard for the idea. I would say. Also, Neo, the song you posted couldn't be added. Oh well. So let's now have some non-nightcore. Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire Wally battle music. Oh, let's fucking go. Now that's the good shit. This is what we came here for, baby. But yeah, let's start the proper topic talking now. So, Neo, I have a question for thee. You have been struggling for a little bit with your world building, right? Wanna talk about it? Yes, you. The only Neo in this chat that is making a world. Songs you guys add to this list are goddamn amazing. I can't even tell what I'm listening to. Listening to you, the biggest problem I'm having right now. Alright, spill the tea, friend. Is that they made the races type to gods. Uh-huh. The typical Lord of the Rings style, yeah. So, I thought Nia was gonna elaborate more, but so you made your races tied to gods. Now, what is the problem with that? What is troubling you about that? Oh, you are elaborating more. Oh, okay. Sorry. I am very bad at dealing with silences. Well, while Neo's typing, then I guess I could start talking about my little preferences in settings. And since we're talking about the topic of gods, how about we start with that? So, what do you do about the big eyes in the sky? The guys that are constantly watching down on the mortals that are your players and stuff. You know, how exactly do you build them? Well, I have three preferences for that kind of thing. Let me just do. Oh, that's a terrible shape. There we go. That's much better. I have three types for that kind of thing. The first one is the a pretty a pretty classic and typical one. Shut up, motorbike. The one that people usually call the living gods or something similar to that, which is basically gods as what is basically a tier above what mortals are. It's just like there's some dude in the sky that happens to be able to control lightning or fire or law or ghosts or something like that. And that guy in the sky, because he's very powerful, has a very big beard. Well, he decides what goes on in the real world or the physical world, or just the chunk of land that's around his mountain or something like that. And so the main thing about these guys is that they are not really that different from mortals. So they are fallible. They can be harmed. They have weaknesses. They have mental stuff that can be exploited. That sort of stuff. Gonna make him very fucking buff. Just the biggest arms and shoulders. My dude is gonna bend mountains with his ass cheeks. Okay, the problem is that goddess is a representation of an aspect, and the idea for each aspect to have multiple faces interpretations. For example, goddess of kindness also represents both love and fertility as well as death. The goddess of change also represents corruption. Okay. I'm listening. While I draw this off-brand Zeus in his little throne. Oop. Da-na-na. Da-na-na. What a fucking bob. God, I love Sapphire Alpha and Ruby Omega so much. Why couldn't the other remakes be as good? So yeah, I need to come up with goddess that not only fit for one or multiple races, but also can be multifaceted. Okay, well, tell me which races you haven't given a deity to yet. Unless they're all goddesses and and it's just one big lesbian orgy up in heaven. I don't know, I'm not judging. But yeah, like I said, Neo replies to me. First type of god I like, living gods. They are fallible, they are similar to mortals in many ways. In fact, they represent facets of them in a lot of mythologies. And they're generally very fun to write and make work in the world, because suddenly you have like this one god who just like you talk shit about him and he goes down specifically to your players and it's like, for you about me, bitch, and then just breaks them over his knee before going back to his mountain or something. Yeah, point of POC, point of care. Ensemble taking is the name, of course, and then it's been with researching first time, I think. Okay. Best of luck with that, Saber. Sample taken, so I'm guessing they're gonna test you about like blood drawing and stuff like that. And biopsies. Unless oh no, now I'm making new question whether they are all goddesses or not. But yeah, no, living gods, things that can actively participate in the mortal world, and they have very mortal values and ways of thinking. Very fun. Love working with these guys. Second off, is deities as representation of universal or natural forces. This is one that I actually like to combine with, not for lesbian reasons, unless which is the second one is one that I actually like to combine with the living gods a bit. Like for example, Delevic, Jaffa Dragon mainly discourse and review and stuff. Okay, yeah, I have studied that kind of stuff, so it's not the most complicated at least. So, but you know, I know that you have difficulty studying and such because brains suck. So I wish you the best of luck, Severino Nino. Oh god, this is because of secret lore reasons. I see, I see. Whoop. Well, as I was saying, give me a second. I'm just checking stuff real quick. So, deities as forces of the universe, basically made, you know, actual creatures. So, like I said, these two very easy to combine. Just have a system where gods can exist from the beginning of time while also having mortals being able to ascend to godhood, and you can have very fun play, especially if you actually make the interaction between these, you know, over superior ultra gods with the inferior quote unquote mortal gods. Like that can leads to some fun play in your setting and stuff if you actually want to work with that. If not, then I mean you can. It's still interesting because it can alter how its deity is worshipped. Because obviously worshipping a living god is not gonna be the same as worshipping an actual power of the universe with that controls the sun and the stars and blah blah blah. And the reason it probably fails because it's a theory test and because I remember that this existed yesterday. Saber, you need to pay attention to your shit. But yeah, as I was saying before forgetting everything about my life. So, one good example of this sort of deity is one that I created. Well, I wouldn't call it a good example because I don't know. Someone who is actually a writer could come to me and be like, "Yo, that fucking sucks," and I'll be, "Yeah, fair enough." But one example would be Serba, which is great eyes, Faye. Good job. Which is the deity of purity and the must. Well, you were saying about the relation between gods and big god. Yeah. Well, I was saying, for example, one of these I have is Serba, which is uh, basically the embodiment of purity in the world, and basically turns everything around them into ash. If they were in the material world, they literally just forcibly purify everything around them because that's what they represent. They represent absolute purity. They represent the perfection of souls, which in my setting, they are born in it's basically a sterile plane where no other influences can affect them. So they're just masses of existence and life, so to speak. And so because they are basically a representation of purity and its relation with souls, everything around them that is material literally gets purified into ash, basically. Just broken into its most basic components. And because of that, this entity can't really interact much in the what shape was I gonna make? I forgot. This entity cannot interact much in the real world. Which is why they have a subordinate that is Chalem, which is a living god that basically that basically protects the balance between life and death in the mortal world, so that souls can travel properly to the realm of Serva. Okay, and so this person gets rid of, like, uh, get, is tasked with basically taking care of greater undead, people who seek immortality and stuff like that, while also making sure to destroy those who mindlessly try to create massacres for the sake of just killing people, to make sure that the flow of souls is properly maintained throughout the world, basically, and so that they can then be properly, managed by this deity, so that their souls can be sent to whatever destiny await them, be it to the realm of a different one of the gods, or just to be recycled again back into the void of souls. Boo! What? Oh hi! Oh my god, it's a Kaden. Hi hi! Glad to see you around here. Welcome to me nerding out about stuff I like for like 3 hours. Oh, I'm being spotted. And this is Death Hill. I'm glad you think so, Neo. Televic has definitely been the setting where I've been working the most, and also the one I have basically reworked like so many times. Because like it's because I've been playing it with people for years, and like, man, this thing that I planned for this isn't as cool for me anymore because I've grown like 2 years. How about we rework it? How about we rework it again? And so gods that used to be just living gods started becoming aspects of the universe gods, and while others remain living gods. And I started basically creating this whole uh basically hierarchy. I started creating the lore. I started polishing the lore, especially after Pathfinder made the remaster, because the remaster gave me a bunch of fantastic ideas for stuff. Because the Pathfinder Paizo kind of had to become creative to avoid the D&D copyright machines. Well, it's not quite a society, because their ways of thinking and motives are a bit beyond typical mortal systems, but they are very tightly working together, mostly for the sake of their own good, because they have seen what would happen if deities were to run rampant, as it happens with the lower ends of the compass, which is how I call the combination of all the planes that are controlled and created by gods, where you have stuff like the Dark Tomb that literally is a living plane that literally created a god forcibly, or the not quite a society, so technically, god. I almost forgot. I should actually open my lore document. Yeah, the Dark Tomb created a god, because the Dark Tomb is void incarnate. It is life that should not live. It basically created as an antithesis to, basically, how the Shadowfell and the and the Feywilds in my setting were created as basically counterparts to the physical realm. Well, the Dark Tomb is basically the antithesis of the antithesis of how to explain this. The Dark Tomb is basically a god. The plane itself is a god, and it's basically a concept meant to be the opposite of the power of life that gives existence to most gods. It is the antithesis of life, without will or mind, and rather, god, words are not coming to me properly. it's supposed to be an antithesis to the concepts that rule like mortal life and divine life. Instead of, because gods are and mortals are basically are determined by their will. They have a will, they have a purpose, and so they are and so they exist to fulfill those wills and purposes. Meanwhile, the void and the dark tomb, which by the way, the void is what empowers the undead. In case you, in case I didn't quite make that clear, undead literally are originated due to the dark tomb. They don't have a will. They exist to fulfill the to fulfill the wills of others, or they exist purely only for the sake of uh how they how they say it. They exist purely for the sake of countering the will of others. So they don't have a will of their own. They can only follow the will of others or fight the will of others if they are, just existing without a lord. So that's what basically the void and the dark tomb represent. It is a counter, a rejection to the essence of the other divines. The same way that so they exist to be anchors. No. Well, what are you talking exactly about? What are you talking about existing to be anchors? Meanwhile, while I get a response, I'm gonna keep opening my Kingdom of the Big document because I need to remember my stuff. Where are my deities? Here we go. Da, 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 da. But yeah, a big concept with the universe of the Levic that I've created is that things that exist are are basically destined to have a counterpart of sorts. They exist to counter that, creating an anchor to the life force. I don't quite know what you mean by creating an anchor. I'm gonna be real with you. Like I don't quite get what you mean. Please. Da, da, da. What song is this? This is really nice. Oh, right, this one. I forgot. Anchor to the concept. Anchor to the concept. Yeah, sorta. Basically, everything in the universe ends up getting a counterpart of sorts. Mortals have their Feywild and Shadowfell counterparts. Gods have their counterpart in the opposite ends of the compass, and so on and so forth. But, and because of that, because of the existence of those those counterparts, is what reinforces what those things are. Basically, it fixes their place in the universe. Basically, so yeah, they're an anchor in that sort of way. But Dark Tomb is special in the fact that instead of countering a specific concept, it is basically a counter to the to how do I say it? It's a counter to the very basic building block of existence in the universe itself. But because it doesn't have a will or have anyone with a strong enough will to control it, because it's again a plain-sized god, it just kind of sits there, right? It's just slowly creating more undead as it's really the only thing it can do, as it's just fulfilling its purpose, creating the opposite of life. It it exists in a way that defies all rules of how things should exist, and nothing has enough will to change to push it to do anything further than that, basically. Which is why it hasn't become a greater force in the world. Because if something actually became powerful enough to actually control that thing, yeah, be ready for level 20 campaign, everyone. And blah, 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 blah. And to this concept of opposites, you can see many other such cases, like there are blah, 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 blah. There is a plane of order that was specifically tasked with maintaining the way the physical world, the material world, existed, and because of the existence of that plane of law, suddenly a seed of chaos was born on the opposite side of the compass. Although you have gods, a working way of having them be both living gods, also so high that they don't know are in control and represent aspects of the planets, and they have their messengers. They're more like normal living gods. I see, I see. I mean, that's another way to do it. It's uh, represent aspects of the planes. I mean, yeah, it's that the way you describe that spec is a bit how D&D does it, where basically you have tiers of living gods, basically, with them being able to accrue more and more power, making their extension over their concepts bigger and bigger, while they can create smaller deities that can basically take care of their smaller parts of their concepts. Which I did like a lot back when I was playing like 3.5, but I slowly grew a bit tired of it because it required so much planning and so much complexity, and it's like, oh, this guy has like three other guys under him, and those three other guys have three other guys under him, and it's like, eh. But yeah, I was gonna say Neo. Remember the big old underworld god of the just micromanaging, yeah, the big old underground world of god of the undead that gave life to JJ. I'm gonna do a little bit of monster shenanigans rambling now. Meanwhile, so that guy is trapped at the core of the Dark Tomb because they tried to become the very first undead with a will, so to speak. Like you have your vampires, you have your leeches, and he is the first lich, the first person to ever try to become an undead while to become immortal while maintaining their mind. And because of that, because it was an entity with a will that was attuned to the Dark Tomb, they instantly got snatched into the Dark Tomb and trapped forever. Bye bye, Kaden. So yeah, because it was an entity with a will trying to become an undead, the Dark Tomb tried to attach itself to it, but again, it overpowered them, and now they are just trapped forever in the Dark Tomb. From which and their objective is to create enough undead that are under their command to obtain enough power to actually rule over the Dark Tomb. The DLC can change the time passes, like there was a past death and will be a future death. Yes, the god can be replaced at some point and did replace someone before. Yeah, no, that is very much like how D&D did it, with even with the multiple Death Reapers kind of stuff. Oh, I guess I should specifically say the Forgotten Realms rather than D&D, because Eberron is its own kind of worms that I'm not gonna get into. I never pay attention to how D&D did gods. I mean, they don't do it the same way now because 4th edition and 5th edition happened, but 3.5 had a very fun setting for Faerun. It was great. I know it's accidental. I'm just saying, like, oh yeah, it reminds me of this. Big Shot, traditional Japanese version. Oh, I love that version. I love that one. What was I gonna say? But yeah, no, there you have your little cramp of deepest lore of my deities. Like having gods that were more personalized to mortal realm and can have conversations with players unless you're playing in Ender role. So the big lich is trapped in there. Yep. There is another deity living in the Dark Tomb, but they are more of someone who just kind of broke into the house and decided to live there because they kind of vibe with the realm. The JJ Prime god. But yeah, the only reason why undead with minds exists is because of that one lich who is still biding his time, resisting the influence to lose his mind from the plane, just until he becomes powerful enough to actually take over. Weren't the others all snats, by the way? What others? You mean the other undeads with will? Because the plane still hasn't been able to subdue Shulketh, that is their name. And Shulketh is basically protecting the other undead from the influence of the Dark Tomb. Though eventually there may come a day where either Shulketh becomes free or Shulketh falls. And let's just say the workings of undeath will change forever after that. That's basically, I'll get to you later. This one is enough trouble as he is. Basically. The plane basically rejects will as it is. And funnily enough, the existence of something that rejects undeath from having will establishes even harder the existence of undeads that have will. Because everything has an opposite, no matter what. Yay, thank you. I work hard into this. Ubu. I should design more of the counterpart gods at some point. Like I have the counterpart Dragon God, I have the counterpart like Chaos God, I have the counterpart Justice God. And also the counterpart of the pantheon of the cat of of free will and stuff. So I should keep working on that. I should make the counterpart of the mystic deities. Which, by the way, fun. Oh, also, Faye, to answer something you asked earlier, but I forgot to answer just which phrase I had missing gods. The answer is a lot. Well, you can start telling me while I keep talking. Stones and the goblins, their influence on there. Yeah, feel free to tell me like one race specifically that you want help with, and I can help you while I keep doodling. So, third type of deity I like. Before I keep forgetting to continue this, creature from outside this world that takes the role of a deity for one reason or another, and that usually the inhabitants of that world do not know isn't actually technically a god. Really like this one. The good old like alien from outer space decides to become god or something similar. Not trying to establish either gnomes or halflings, since there are the two basic races missing so far. I mean, for halflings, we were talking about having it be based on like hospitality, submission, generosity and stuff like that, right? Well, not eldritch horror. It's not a horror. It's just something alien to the world that has taken upon itself to act as a god. Chiki chiki na na. Let's see. Maybe it's a bit bigger than I thought, but oh well. Da, da, da. But yeah, I usually like to work with a combination of these two because, it's fun. I also did try a fourth different thing once with Cogitos, which is gods as an inherent part of the world and its people. Like gods that just are inherently part of the world they're in and the people that live within them, and as such basically are, and as such they are not quite a force within the place, rather, but more a sort of just inner entity that shapes things along as time passes. Which in Cogitos I basically made them to so that the world basically has a consciousness of its own. Ignore this very terribly drawn brain. It is fine. Look, it's very wrinkly. It's fine. But yeah, no. Like in Cogitos, the world itself has a consciousness. It has a mind. And that mind basically had the will to shape. It's a xenomorph brain, god. Had the will to basically want to create life. It wanted to create a beautiful world. And so the world started being shaped by this mind until eventually, where's my, oh, there it is. Until eventually this mind, as the world grew, started fragmenting itself into different aspects of itself. So you would have one that represented logic, that wanted things to make sense, it wanted the world to follow rules. You had one that represented absurdity, so instead it wanted things to be exciting, even if they didn't make sense. It wanted things to be strange, weird. But it wanted things to basically... Sorry. Bleh. Words. Words are hard. It wants things to basically be interesting above and impressive to itself rather than being logical. So it creates things that are of myth. It creates things that are magical. It is, in fact, the creator of magic. Though I don't know how to represent this with a drawing. This aspect. Here, I'll make a frozen flame. Yeah, that sounds good. I don't know. It's hard to represent something like this. Oh, hi, Blue Blue. Welcome. I'm gushing about stuff I built for my worlds. How you doing? Then you have the mind of how is it been sneaky lurking? Yay! Hope you've been enjoying. Finally got this song request stuff to work. I'm very happy. Yeah, having a lot of fun. I'm also trying to help Neo. Then you have the one of apathy. It just wants to let things flow. It wants the wind to keep blowing. It wants the rivers to keep flowing. It just wants to let the world follow its course without intervention. And meanwhile, on the other end, you have the mind of creativity. It wants to shape mountains. It wants to shatter them in half. It wants to create beautiful beautiful mesas with shapes unlike anything else that has been ever seen. It wants to create legs with cute little forms, stuff like that. Yeah, apathy just wants the world to be left to work by itself. Let the rivers flow the way they want. Let the winds go however they want. Let the rocks tumble wherever they go. It doesn't really care about nature or living beings in general. It just cares about the landscape itself. Then we have... Oh, there it is. Then we have abandon. One that believes that living beings should just exist for the sake of existing without any greater purpose. Just grow, become beautiful, and then wither away so that something new can be born. And because of that, they are the patron of plants. Since plants just do exactly that, they just exist. They let the wind rustle their leaves. They drop their fruits when they become ripe, but they never actively make a choice of their own. And on the opposite side, we have will. Where's my... there. Where instead it wants things to grow, to want to become something greater, to grow together, to develop in combination into something greater than their unit. It wants things to seek basically to combine their powers together in order to seek to be something greater than just what they are. And because of that, they are the ones who control funguses and colony insects and stuff like that, and grants them intelligence. I'm gonna make a little ant. It's gonna be very cute. Super cute ant. There we go. It's an ant. And then we have the most new baby gods, which are ego and id, who were born with the existence of creatures with a mind. Can I put metaphor battle music on the playlist? I mean, I guess. I'd rather not listen to music from games I want to play because I want to be surprised by the game, but you know. Look at the land go. But yeah, as I was saying, ego represents the desire for living beings to live in community and harmony, to seek something greater than just instinctual survival, to create communities, to create cities, to create houses, stuff like that, to live with a set of rules so that they can live in harmony. While it represents the opposite. It's the desire for creatures to follow their most base instincts, to eat, to fuck, and to do all that other stuff. I'll put an apple. Yes. Look at the apple go. It has been eaten. Yeah, that's kind of what I did with Cogitos. And from then, basically, each living being kind of aligns itself with different minds, more or less. And they have and the worship of the 8 minds, rather than being something, grand and with big temples and stuff like that, it's something more of a personal and meditative sort. where rather than having big priests and stuff like that, you have mentors in small temples and stuff that teach you how to connect with the different minds and to how to cultivate the gifts that they give them. So you have like places that cultivate the essences of each and every one of the eight minds in one way or another. There, yawning. And usually each of the different countries that have in my setting will be more partial to one of these. And it also really affects heavily how creatures look, because in that setting there are no humans. Instead, plants, animals, funguses, and even minerals and ice just gain sentience and become humanoid creatures slowly as they develop more of the gift that the minds have given to living beings. The gift being the ability to reason, to think on one's instincts, to create, to be mindful of one's existence in the world, to have imagination, to have logic. Basically, by cultivating the different aspects of the eight minds, you can cultivate your own gift. You like Cogitus, I'm glad, but it is a bit of a pain for me to develop because I don't know how to get down to making something for a campaign for it. You get a lot of interesting people, yeah, because also people can combine the different aspects of the mind in their lives differently, or they can be, their origin can also influence it. Because, for example, animal creatures are basically granted the gift by logic, who is like, yeah, no, animals already have brains and they have a base set of instincts, so it makes the most sense that animals would be the ones to develop intelligence, and so it gave animals intelligence. And so the closer those animals develop their instincts, the closer they get to a sort of human-like form, except that they are never fully allowed to completely abandon their animal parts, so to speak. And the thing is, with Cogitos, I will need to basically get down and develop a very specific area to make a very small scale campaign, because this is a setting made for smaller scale. The world is not completely explored. There is a lot of wilderness. Most civilizations are incredibly recent and stuff like that. So it's meant to be made on the smaller scale. But it will take also. I will have to basically think very hardly on how to make that smaller scale fit into things basically. Like I would actually have to sit down and develop the area and stuff, because it would be very important to know how, people exist in that land, what they worship, blah blah blah. I am never making a campaign set of the Sky Islands. The Sky Islands are specifically made to be the evil bastards. Those people suck. They are absolutely terrible, awful people. And honestly, the only reason that land truly exists is because it is an how to explain it? It's developed from one of the characters that Payne did for a character that basically got translated into the Cogito setting. And the concept was I didn't want to just completely remove the concept for the character. So instead I reworked it as best as I could into making it basically making it home to the most like unambiguously fucked up people possible. You know, antagonist that fits in a lot of type of campaigns, I guess, but it's also supposed to be an antagonist that's very hidden in a way. It's a group of people that don't want to be found by the land walkers ever, because they're inferior, they cannot fly too. But yeah, definitely should like one. The thing is, I also would need to have people actually want a Coitos campaign to even get down to work on that, because unlike making the other setting, the Nova Lucens, where people where I actually got down to work. Like the thing is, the system I used for Nova Lucens actually helped me a lot develop the setting itself, and that was very fun to work on. But for Cogitos, it would require a lot more work, so it's like, the Lion Woman Asimar? No, it's Tislinus, the bird guy. The Lion Woman Asimar is from a whole different campaign that I'm not even DMing. Ta 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 ta. I love Tislinus. He's such a fun character. It's a shame I had to basically cancel the campaign where he was in originally because I was completely losing the. I was basically making my own homebrew system very terribly, and I was just losing my mind trying to make things work. Ta 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 ta. See, when you said Pain and Evil character, that woman is the one that comes to mind. But Pain's character isn't evil, the one I'm talking about. The bird guy isn't evil. The society that enslaved him is evil. But it's fine. By the way, in terms of the deity for your gnomes, the goddess, have you made one yet that is all around like about experimentation, about risk taking, about one yeah, ah damn. No, eh? I'm confused. I have one that fits those things, Faye. But if you have one, that probably means that cannot be the deity for the gnomes because they're already assigned for someone else. I'm guessing. Oh, they don't have one yet. Then that would be a very good fit. Like you could center gnomes about being experimenting on both natural things and artificial things that have them be risk takers. People that. Well, I guess that would also fit goblins. Hmm. Hmm. I have erudition, which is basically knowledge. Hmm. Yeah, that could work with gnomes. I think it would work. Yeah, let's go a bit deeper on talking about the deities from Televik and stuff and how they interact and all that. I keep getting distracted like a fool. Sorry. I started getting jeez. Okay. But I hear the current song. I know what the current song is. Uh So Televik. Televik. So the way I set up this setting is that I have the Enigmata, but that is more the unknown than knowledge. I see. If you have one for the unknown, I would say use that for what was the I would say one for the unknown would work well for things like kitsunes or for things like what was the word? I'm forgetting. Or for creatures that are like from underwater, I think would work well. After all, the depths hide many secrets and many hidden knowledge. But yeah, going back to setting stuff, basically what I did is that I organized deities into pantheons, where basically deities that share concepts or that have concepts that are fairly similar to each other reunite themselves in order to collaborate for the sake of fulfilling their objectives. Or in the case of some mortal gods, they ascended together and they have created their own pantheon together. So, for example, we have the pantheon of the moon. How do I draw a moon to make it look like a moon? You take the moon, and you take the moon, and you take the moon, and you take the moon. You take the moon, and you take the moon, and you take the moon, and you take the moon. This works. The moon. Because in a setting another ocean is not explored because the continent is surrounded by nearly unsailable waters. Then yeah, there you go. That's perfect. But the Pantheon of the Moon is in this case is led by two living gods, which basically were born after a great plot of revenge against a higher entity that basically ruined their lives after they served it. And these two entities are, on one hand, you have Lune, goddess of the full moon, that represents like second chances. So her whole aspect is like redemption, resurrection. I'm gonna put a little guy with a hate. Oops. Actually, no. I can work with it. Oh no, never mind. There. There. Very long guy. So her whole aspect is like resurrection and redemption, forgiveness, that kind of stuff. While also being a guardian deity, a deity whose task is to defend mortals from the dangers of the dark, from temptation, from. That's enough music for a bit. Thank you, Sheba. Is a deity of protection, of basically someone who keeps temptation and those who stalk the night away from mortals. And the other is my boy, my man, my legend, Halbale, the Chat of the Eclipse. DJ Halbale for the win. Trying. I made the outer circle so well, and now the inner circle is going so terribly. There we go. Gonna make sure this doesn't leak. Okay. And boop. Halbale, god of the eclipse, my boy, my man, my main legend. The god of catastrophe and cataclysm. The man who will toss meteors at a goblin camp if it's trying to summon a god or a demon or something. He's like, hello, I'm little Gobbo the Gobbo. I'm gonna summon my evil lord because I want to do like evil rituals and stuff. Or this is my first ritual. I hope it goes well. Meanwhile, towards Gobbo, there is this giant ass meteor incoming, ready to turn him into paste in the next 5 seconds. So yeah, Halbale is the god of cataclysm, except that the cataclysm is aimed towards those who. No, Gobbo the God. That cataclysm is aimed towards those who basically summon those who summon foreign forces into the world. They are the planar police. They destroy demons and their summoners. They destroy aberrations, they destroy devils, they destroy any creature from a plane that tries to create evil in the world gets absolutely destroyed in the most extreme manner possible. Like, these guys do not chill. They will annihilate anyone that comes close to trying to mess with the material plane. So yeah, these two they're in a relationship. He's not a god of chaos, he's a god of cataclysm. He represents natural catastrophes, meteors, earthquakes, thunderstorms, all of that. He represents it and he guides it towards the evildoers. He is in fact the storm that is approaching. And actually I have an image of the two of them since they are living gods and stuff. So give me a second, I will show you actually. Let's see, it should be on my gallery, I hope. Or would it actually be on my Telepic documents? So one attack and the other protect, basically. Yeah, I'm trying to search if I have the image here, if I need to download it again. Give me a second. It seems I do not have the image on hand, so give me a second. I'm gonna go to Discord real quick. I'm gonna search for the image. I should have it maybe on... I think I know where I could have it. Give me a second. Ah, damn. Uh, oh, it's gonna actually become a bit hard to find then. Oh, wait, I still have this. Okay, then it should be around here something, hopefully. Wait, what's this city here? Oh, right, it's from that one. I can't find it. God damn it. Surely has to be somewhere in these ones. Sorry for the wait, everyone. I promise I'll have it in a sec. Where art thou? What is the game? It's in 2 hours and 10 minutes. But yeah, oh god, what? Oh, why do I have? Come on, come on. It has to be somewhere around here. Depends if he's running late from work or not. Yeah, depends on that too. I can't fucking believe I can't find the image quickly because there's so much shit, and for some reason Discord doesn't let me search for images by who sent them anymore. Which is like the stupidest thing ever, but whatever. Whatever. Come on, it has to be around here somewhere. If not, I guess I'll have to send the incomplete version of it. Ugh. But like I was sure I've sent this image before in one of these servers. So why the fuck is it nowhere to be found? Oh wait, I think it should be on this one where I sent it. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Oh, come on. How is it not here either? What the fuck? I am so confused. Like, you thought I would have sent it by in one of these at least. Hmm. Oh well, then if not, I'll have to get the incomplete version. But it's not incomplete. As more than just it's missing a fucking piece. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Let's see. Hmm. Oh man. I really was hoping I would be able to have it. Ah. Bro, it seems like it seems like not. Apparently, I cannot find it in any of the servers where I supposedly should have bought it. So, oh well. So, in fact, I've been looking for this on a while. I remember his name again. Yay! Yippee! I'm so sad about this. Man. Oh, but maybe I sent it. Hmm. Gonna check something out real quick. Give me a second. Oscar. Let's see. So when okay, so it was in August of 2021. So maybe I sent this here. Oh, specifically 30th of August. Oh wait, no. Wrong month. I am not giving up on finding the good quality version of the image. God damn it. Okay, what the fuck? Where is this? Why is it not appearing? Ah. Why is the last version here? This one too. Hmm. Ah, finally found it. Jesus Christ. Oh, took me a fucking bajillion years. Oh my god. Alright, I am going to just Specsavers, I'm gonna send it to our group chat real quick, just so I can have it in somewhere. Let's see. It should be in images now, right? Or is it like its own? Oh, it's a different sort of file. Ugh. Wait, why did it just not download? What the fuck? There. Download. There we go. Alright, finally. Oh. Jeez, it should not have taken as long as it did. Sorry about the wait, everyone. Oh. Oh, again, sorry everyone for the wait. I really wanted to show this because it's work made by Diyaru, which instantly means that it's big. Alright, let's see. Can I give you a background real quick? I guess not. Oh well. Whoa, okay, that's a big boy. Give me a second. Neum. Neum. There. There you have them. Look at this absolute beauty of an artwork. I know, right? Like, they just did such a good job with them, which is why I was sad that I couldn't find the actual image. I'm so happy I finally found the fully rendered one. I know, right? Like, they did so good. Ah. Alright, now time to hide them. Now we can actually continue talking about stuff instead of being distracted by fucking me searching for images for 15 minutes. Oh my god. God, you were turned right as I stopped showing the images of the deities. God damn, Specky, you have some bad timing. But yeah. Now we talked about our babies, Halbane and Lune. You know what? I'll show it a bit, once more for Specky. Here you go. Look at them. Oh, you want me to spill the tea, friend? All right. Then buckle the fuck up. All right, so basically, Halbale and Lune were tasked to defeating a very terrifying foe of the Tard. Yes. When you first show them, it's amazing. But yeah, they were tasked with defeating basically what I guess I should explain Dragon Lore first to explain this. So, let me introduce you to Dragon Lore in Delebic. So, back before existence as a whole existed, we had a... I'll hide them for now because... Yep. I'm gonna start jumping out of the Dragon Pantheon, get ready. So back before the material plane existed and it was only the gods with their planes, there was an elemental, basically a ball of elements as the only thing that existed was a collision of all 6 elemental planes just chaotically meshing together. And the gods were like, wait, if we work with that shit, we could make something really cool. We and they tried to they sent the God of Order to basically talk no jutsu the big primordial elementals who were basically the masters of the big elemental chaos, and eventually managed to convince them to spread their planes apart so they themselves would have their own kingdoms to actually rule over, while this area in between those elemental planes would be used by the gods to create their own material plane, where elementals could also interact and influence with the creations of the gods. And it would be all nice and dory. They would establish some rules of interaction and stuff like that. And it would be very nice. But then, there was a second party who didn't like that, which was Cryptix, the deity of chaos, who seeing as the gods were trying to basically stop the raw chaotic potential of the elemental chaos, in one swift strike shattered all of the primordial elementals and mixed them together into one monstrous form, completely consumed by chaos, basically, and the desire to basically melt everything together and keep it destroyed and stuff like that. And obviously the gods were like, well, this is a problem for everyone. We are gonna have to destroy this bitch. And so they fought this elemental amalgaman, and after defeating it, the words. I'm forgetting words now. The God. Give me a second. I'm gonna look at my fucking thing to see if I can jog my memory. There we go. Okay. So the deity of fire and cleansing, Alenoid, basically after the elemental was destroyed, proceeded to try to just annihilate, so to speak, this evil stain from the universe. But in the process, instead, it shattered the poor corrupted elementals into 3 of its aspects. So, and these aspects took the forms of the dragon gods. And thus beginning the dragon pantheon. Give me a second, I'm gonna I almost got a good shape. I just need to fix this snoot. So if it the elemental organization and shattered it into the dragon, yeah. He shattered it into the 3 dragon gods. So, the soul of the elemental became throat the soul of the elemental became Lothux, the deity of basically kindness, charity, and basically it represented the goodwill of the elementals had before the chaos warped their body and forced them to become evil. It represents the desire to give to God words to create a community, to create bonds, stuff like that. And thus is the deity of most goodwill dragons. And it's usually represented as a dragon made of an alloy of all metals to represent again this unity and combination. Then we have Okurok, who is the mind of the elementals, their desire for order, for control, the desire to have desire to have, and also their thoughts of a better future. And because of that, they became a dragon of psionic, of control, and of prophecies. And they are generally and they are generally the parent of the gem dragons, as well as any other dragon that holds power over the mind, and they are generally all neutral. And then the body still contained the seed of chaos. Was the part that still contained the seed of chaos, and it turned into one fucked up entity. Now they lost both soul and mind. And here is where comes Dark Taborel. The dragon of the dragon god that desires nothing but to destroy and to conjoin everything into basically a pile of nothing. Dragon that hates the material plane more than anything ever, and because of this terrible creature that couldn't really be destroyed because it was basically absolutely corrupted by chaos, which meant it couldn't really be unmade. It got kicked out into the deepest plane of the compass, which is the abyss. The abyss is basically, rather than a plane, it's a hole in existence. It's a you know how space folds around the black hole in like the biggest fold possible? Yeah, imagine that. It's like an infinite fold in space. It just keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. I'm gonna banish for a bit, gonna chill mainly when I think something. Okay, bye bye, Seba. So yeah, there's this dragon basically tucked into the deepest fold of existence. Yeah, it's an event horizon. Yeah. And inside that event horizon lies Dark Taborel, locked away so that he would never be able to escape and wreak havoc. So, you have the very nice, very kind dragon, community, love. Whoops. My hand is acting very weirdly today. You have the second dragon, of... You know what? I'm gonna make the Master Emerald. Let's fucking go. It's the Master Emerald that represents the god of the Psionic Dragon God. So Dark Taborel doesn't quite look like a dragon, like the other two do. Dark Taborel is just an amorphous mass of elementally created flesh with teeth, claws, eyes, and everything just sprouting against this amorphous body that just constantly spews elemental energy all over the place. It's not a pretty sight. Give me a second. I'm trying to do the representation of Dark Taborel. Okay, and then and then put Zawardo inside the claw. But yeah, Dark Taborel is basically it's basically in a constant state of absolute agony over having a body that should not be able to exist, but that cannot die either. But that also comes with its needs. Well, it's not world domination. He very much wants to destroy this pile of dirt. And basically, Dark Taborel ripped a part of itself off. Just a part of itself, planted it, gave it shape, and created a furnace, you could say, made of flesh and bone. and started creating the very first of the entities that would fulfill his plans, as Tartavorel itself couldn't leave the Event Horizon. And in come the demons. Tartavorel first creates the demons to basically be like malformed, completely against like how life should work entities that because of their smaller power can actually be sent with magic into the material plane. So usually they require someone from the material plane to open the door for them. But thanks to the smaller of the demons being able to live there, they can spread the influence and get people that will actually sound the stronger ones of them. And so the demons are the first force tasked with trying to ruin over the world. And when this plan clearly doesn't spread the way it proceeds to rip large parts of itself. And these parts become the primordial dragons of evil and shit. Entities that only have the desire to take over the world and gather enough of an influence. Well, not to take over the world, but to gather enough of an influence over the world that they will actually be able to sound our tower into the material plane in order to completely shatter it forever. Although these dragons, here I'll do a little silhouette of a dragon, like roar, horse. You know what? Sure, I'll go with the dumbass dragon drawing. Roar, so scary. This is the worst fucking drawing I've made in my life. Holy shit, I love it. Roar. But yeah, the primordial dragons are not quite rightly built predecessors of the current dragons in the world, who got sent into the material plane to try to basically take over a large group of people in order to garner enough magical influence to actually sound our Taborel. Sounds those long necked dinosaurs. Wait, no, it's Tropicus, everyone's favorite Pokemon. But sadly, all of these very fucked up dragons got defeated by the gods in some way, shape, or form. And the only thing left was their descendants, which unfortunately, although they still retained a lot of the natural evil from their predecessors, they had their own wishes, as they were closer to mortal than to deity, unlike the demons who are spawned directly from Dark Taborel. Since the primordial dragons kinda had to reproduce with something non-dragon to basically create the other dragons. And that's a long story that I'm not going to explain right now. But yeah, because the dragons were more mortal, they had more mortal desires rather than reviving some big scary lizard from outer space. So, they would have their hoards of gold and diamonds and shit like that. They would have their some of them would want their books. Some of them would want just to be. Let me just. Perfect. Big book. Best reading. Some of them would just want to rule over others because they are the descendants of a god, so they are the best and they need to rule over people and stuff like that. I mean, Amogus. And yeah, so now imagine if instead of now think, what if some of these primordial dragons, instead of having a half mortal child, had a child with a entity from a different plane? Introducing the infernal dragons. Dragons born from the intercourse of dragons of evil dragons with devils. And so we had these very no, the dragons are demons. That's the whole point. They are demons. The devil. So now we have this very fucked up creature born from one of the primordial dragons, establishing a bit of a deal with a devil. And that now has, you know, both the powers of both powers born from from well, my equivalent of hell, and powers from Daltaurel. And now this bitch with a large interest in big domination over mortals on one hand, the establishment of big fucked up packs, and also the establishment of a dragon rule to summon an evil god destroying world, now exists in the material plane. And so our very strong heroes, Lune and Halbel, get summoned by a god to defeat this dragon. Lune and Halbel go defeat this dragon. And in order to ensure that and Halbel is a very hot-headed guy, you know, he's a bit of a crazy lad. He likes to party. And so when the two of them clash, Halbel does a deal with the dragon, where whoever wins gets to keep the soul of the other in a duel. It's like Halbel basically challenges the dragon to a duel, and whoever wins will keep the soul of the other to use their power as they please. And guess the fuck what? Halbel actually fucking won against all odds. Halbel defeats the dragon and in turn takes the soul of the dragon. But this also causes no, he fucking wins. But this opens the secret trick that the dragon had tried to play on Halbel, where because the dragon soul is completely made from an immortal essence, it is actually quite more powerful than that of Halbel. And he starts trying to take over the good old paladin, who didn't think things very through. So, you know, kind of like in Elden Ring, when you take a dragon heart and you start slowly becoming a dragon, kind of like that. And in that process, basically, how do I say this? Lune basically gave up all of her divine powers in order to give Halbel enough strength to resist the dragon, basically. So she sacrificed all her power for him, and the entity that held them to defeat this dragon was not happy with things and was about to cast Halbel off into here I have the name around here instead of just having to say a different name. Where are you? Where are you, Nados? There you are, Nados. Da, 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 da. Ah, yes, the Cell Pit is the name of the plane. No, she didn't sacrifice her godhood. They were not gods. They were remember they were mortal, and then later became gods. But the sacrifice was basically the divine power that she had been given. So yeah, uh, the deity uh, did not like that very much, and was about to cast Halbale to the Cell Pits for doing for not only wasting her powers, but also almost risking giving the dragon even more power by pretty much granting him his soul by proxy. And hell, even at that point, Halbel was still struggling against the power of the dragon, even with both his power and Lune's combined. And in that moment, Lune interjected and begged to have her be punished instead of Halbel, basically saying that it was her fault that Halbel did what he did, basically took the blame for him and took the punishment for him because she believed that Halbel was a more worthy because she believed that Halbel was a more worthy defender of the people than her. And so Luna gets sent into fucking hell. Like from this conflict, we end up with one knight is on permanently fire inside, and the other is in divine jail because hell in my setting, rather than being like an it's technically a lordless plane that literally exists just to be a cell for souls that are basically evil or that are danger to humanity in some way, shape, or form. It is a cell for mortal and lesser divine souls, basically. Until a certain entity became its de facto boss, but that's a different story. And let's say that Halbil did not enjoy this turn of events very much, and he decided to declare war on the entity that had given him his powers. And at the same time started well, yeah, he declared war on this entity and started basically amassing other believers against this entity and started getting more power, started getting more influence, all while still fighting the influence of the dragon. And then and then went out on an all-out war with this entity and then won again because he's him. Like this man is the epitome of the unstoppable power of the human will, the indomitable human will, as you would say. He is pure fuck you energy. If you challenge him, or if you think you're better than him, you better start counting your prayers. And after that, he promptly ascended into godhood, and then descended down into the cell pit to search for Lune and rescued her from the very many traumatic from the very many terrible experiences she was having there. And using his divine powers, healed her from, let's say, all the trauma that she experienced down there, granting her a second chance, just like she had granted him a second chance. And thus, Lune also ascended to godhood as her current status, as goddess of and earned. They both earned with very much flying colors their statuses as both a deity of second chances and mercy, and basically renewal, and a deity of fuck you, you are dying. And let's just say, oh my god, fucking Ferret Walk. Dun, dun, dun. Oops. Let's just say, from what Halbel did, yeah, no, there was never a god of the moon before these two. What are you talking about? Never was such a thing. What do you mean? That's just nonsense. There was never something like that. Also, yes, I know that it's an edited version to sound like a different song, but yeah, I'm focused. I'm focused here, Neo. I'm doing important stuff. I'm writing fan fiction. So the Island Lune went through a lot, and Javier is the fucking best. Yes. Javier is a fucking is a monster. Good. Everyone should be a Javier hype man. Like there's a reason why the other gods respect the hell out of the Moon Pantheon. These two are no joke. It's why the deities of the Pantheon of the Defenders love these guys a lot. They are brothers in arms. It helps that these two characters have basically had a lot of work put on by my whole group since like the very beginning of it. So, anyways, yeah, the reason why Halbel has a dragon themed armor is because he is he is the dragon of Tojima all along. He is him. Like, man, it makes me happy to gush about this kind. The dragon of Telebig. Indeed. So now, question, Neo, since we still have 1 hour more of this, what do you prefer me to talk about? Do you want me to talk about the other fun pantheons, or do you want me to talk about the other fucked up deities that I'm hiding in my basement? Give me the fucked up ones. Okay, Neo, let me tell you about my my most tortured creation, the Faceless. This lad over here, or lass, who knows. So the Faceless is the most lesser of living gods. It is technically only considered a deity because of specific reasons. The Faceless is the parent of every single shape-shifting creature in Delebig. Or like, not every single shape-shifting creature, but like every single like creature that can freely adapt their shape to other things, basically. So like mimics, shapeshifters, and stuff like that. So like no werewolves or other like animal transformation creatures, but just the creatures that are like, oh, that looks like a fun thing. Yeah. And this guy was able to transform into anything. This person was basically the physical manifestation of adaptation. They could turn into objects, animals, people, you name it. Whatever they saw, it was theirs for the taking. And they used this to be a little bit of a rat bastard. So they could turn into like items, they could turn into people, they could turn into like a cat. Whoops. They would turn into like a cat, they would do like wee 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 meow. And they would do all this shit to basically mess with both mortals and deities as much as they wanted. They were big, like, big gremlin energy. Well, more than a prankster, like legit the thing where they would murder a king and then take his place and then completely run his kingdom like absolute garbage just because it was entertaining. That kind of shit. Or they would go like up to a deity disguised as an angel and like, oh, this is a nice artifact. I'm gonna grab it real quick to keep it for you. Yoink. And other similar like very bullshitty stuff. And let's just say there were two deities, three deities, that did not quite like the attitude of this little fucker. And her Kremlin energy on a civilization ending scale, exactly. So these deities, which are, give me a second, throat. These deities, which were Eulex, deity of law, Alenoid, deity of fire and cleansing, like I said before, and what was your name? Calterizer, god of truth and justice. They did not quite like them. And so together, they basically snatched the little fucker up with the help of Calterizer, who was the only one who was a living god among them, and put them on trial. They spent basically a few years listing every crime that they have committed. So let's put a little gavel here. It's like, objection, Your Honor, this guy screens, and stuff like that. Eh. Phone, please don't fall. I need you for stuff. So yeah, they basically named every single crime they had committed in front of them for like years, just to spite them. And then with the three together, they put a curse on them, so to speak. They did a very, very mean thing to this fucker. They erased with the power of Eulex and Alenoid, they erased from existence everything about their original form. They're like, basically there is no record or memory from their face, their name, or anything or even their personality, or the original personality. All of them up in flames. All of them burned, disappeared from existence. They basically they themselves don't have any memory about what their true form is either. That they can never be themselves again. As punishment for using the identities of others for their own gain, they can never be themselves again. They're forever trapped as a mimic. And this punishment has a clause. If the faceless can manage to have someone look at their true face in a but not just anyone, someone they have a good bond with, someone they have built a relationship based on trust and understanding rather than on trickery. If they manage to show that person their true face, the punishment will be lifted. And ever since then, for eons onwards, the faceless has been searching and searching for both their true face and for someone they can basically be a good person around. Someone that forces them to fight their own instincts. And also, ever since then, the faceless has become a guide for the other shapeshifters. They guide them into what to do, what not to do. They basically look over them to make sure they don't make the same mistakes as them, and will even come in their aid if their own mistakes were to ever catch up to them. Because the one thing the faceless wants more than anything else is to avoid anyone else for sharing their fate. They're trying to turn a new leaf, but this leaf is heavy with the guilt of many eons of trickery. So yeah, that's a faceless. Just a funny little guy that this kind of exists. I'm almost out of space. I drew a lot bigger than I expected today. I gotta make sure to draw these things smaller next time. Hi, Seinfer, welcome. Welcome to my gushing room. It's a funny little guy that is not having a fun time, indeed. Alright, let's try making smaller doodles this time. So hey, Neo. What next? Tell me anything. Tell me something that would catch your interest and you wanna hear about. Tell me. Since you're the only one really saying stuff right now. Since Beck is probably distracted in some way. Give me some of the pantheons. We have Pantheon of the Moon, which I already mentioned, the Pantheon of the Defenders, the Pantheon of the Sun, the Pantheon of the Pantheon of the Venturous, which is all about like human will, human like development and learning, stuff like that. The Pantheon of the Mystics, which is about magics and nature. Yeah, I was asking people what else they wanted to hear about my deities. Let's talk about the sun. The sun is suddenly. Let's go. Okay, so Sun Pantheon. Yippee. A bit too sleepy to ask today. Okay, that's fine. Do try to not fall asleep if you can. So, Pantheon of the Sun. It has 3 deities. So, on one hand, we have Cauterizer, Pat the Tyrant Spec, which, as I mentioned before, he is God of Justice and Truth, and the only living god in the Pantheon of the Sun. He was a very, very important man back in the day that rose against his own lord in order to save many, many people, and ended up taking the blame for Cauterizer? No, he's not blind. Justice is not blind, it is righteous and always observant. But yeah, Cauterizer got basically he got betrayed by. Give me a second. he got betrayed by the people who uh who he was working with to protect. That's why I asked. Amazing. But yeah, he got betrayed after basically fighting off his own lord in order to protect many people. Actually, there we go. But yeah, there was basically a group of nobles trying to kill a lot of people and usurp the king, and he fought all of them to the. Let's see. He fought like many of them, killing a few of them, and then by the surviving remaining nobles, he got blamed for the attempt of the coup and basically got executed. And seeing what happened, Arenoid, the another deity of the pantheon of the sun, basically was like, "You are my little PogChamp. Come here," and basically gave him a little status of godhood, and allowed him to descend down to to establish justice. You know, basically, Arenoid revived him, ascended him, sent him down to basically establish true justice. So he could punish those traitors. And after justice was established, he graciously just left, ready to ascend to go back into the afterlife and just die peacefully after having completed his task. I said that Alenoid, yay, Ben got home, yippee. Said that Alenoid was not done with him and decided to name him the god of mortal justice. So now he is. It's well. I'll leave this arrow empty for when, or do I? I'll just like draw him here with a little like, oh look, he's all shiny and stuff. And he has wings, and not just two wings. He has 4 wings. Holy shit! So epic. I don't know, just a little doodle. But yeah, he got ascended by Alenoid and turned into a proper god. For reals, for reals. Big wings must fly. And speaking of, let's talk about the fiery goddess herself. The one and only. The baddest of all bitches, she is. God, I'm not gonna be able to draw this symbol well, but let's see. She's basically supposed to be holding a charred heart, but I am not. I'm not gonna be able to draw an anatomically accurate heart like this. Sorry, not sorry. Gonna real quick erase this. Oops. But yeah, Alenoid is deity of purification and also of fire. her whole thing is that she protects the mortal. Basically protects the world by looking at evil people. Like here's the the Monica, the very evil demon lord lady that is trying. That is like, you know, yeah, cleansing flames. She that is basically possessing the good old. You know, this is a little like priest or a little village who was possessed by this demon. She would like nothing than to be free. And blah, 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 blah. She gets absolutely absolutely destroyed. So yeah, jokes aside, her whole thing is that she burns corruption in mortal kind, be it of a mortal type or of a non-mortal type. So while Halbale specifically centers in destroying planar entities, she specifically destroys mortals that have been corrupted in some way, shape, or form by other entities or by themselves. And this purification can go two ways. If the corruption is not deep enough, the mortal can just go through a lot of agony and destruction of the self in exchange for clearing themselves of their corruption. Or if it's too deep in, then the mortal gets scarred, it gets charred in both soul and mind until the corruption is forcibly pushed out of the soul, and then the soul is just left to go into the afterlife. Fun times. She very much does not give, like, she is very much not someone who takes things lightly. She will go the most extreme route possible to make sure that nothing escapes her hand. No, they give the corrupt a chance if the corruption is of a mortal kind and if the corruption doesn't run deep enough. But if you are like touched by a demon or devil or like worship an aberration or something, she will literally make sure there is no trace remaining of that corruption in body or soul. So she will burn away all your pills. And then we'll be like, okay, Saira, here you go, finish cleansing this soul. So yeah, her nights are basically... Well, first off, she likes to work a lot with Calterizer because Calterizer makes sure that corruption of the mortal kind never goes far enough due to its, judgment and justice. And together, they basically work to ensure to keep mortal kind shepherd and stop them from doing stupid shit. Judgment, exactly. What else? Minos moment, yeah. And her soldiers are basically all of them absolute zealots that will destroy people of any kind if they show any sort of sign of being corrupted by evil entities. So yeah, let's say Lunet doesn't quite like them. Like, let's see. These two, they hate each other. They are very angry at each other. Yeah, they have a scorched earth policy. Anything that is corrupted in any meaningful way has to go, be it adult, children, animal, whatever. If you have been corrupted by a demon, into the furnace you go. And if you have been a very fucked up individual for a long time, get ready for a few months of excruciating pain as we forcibly remove the evil from you. So yeah, a nice person to have a tea with. And then finally, oh hey, Mafia City music. We have Khaled. Oh god, how do I draw this? Let's see. Imagine that this is wheat. I'm sure that only if you are on their good side. I mean, Punk certainly seems to think so. But yeah, last one is Galid. Galid is the deity of sunlight, fertility, family, of yucking. Nah, I'm kidding. And harvest and all that stuff. She is the nice mama of the group. She is the one that will they will bite you into her house, give you a nice warm cup of milk, and gossip with you about the latest fashion of the Levic or something. No, Bonk doesn't worship Alenoid. Bonk is a Halbale boy, but he has a quote unquote Alenoid girlfriend. Da, 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 da. But yeah, no, while these two are over here basically being the big old two like stern mini parents, Khalid is the cool aunt who just gives your farms like all the vegetables. Like, look at all these potatoes. So many potatoes, so many potatoes. All for you because Auntie Khalid loves you and wants the best for you. And of course, he will be a Halville boy, as everybody should. And Khalid just wants you to, you know, treat others with kindness and respect. She wants you to invite people to nice meals and stuff. She wants you to have big parties with your friends and family. She wants you to just share a drink or two with people. Ah, come on. She just wants you she just wants you to have a nice old time with your friends and family and to respect the boons of nature and the boons of community. And also to have a lot of children. I mean, what? And that's it for the Sun Pantheon. I just realized the Sun Pantheon is basically the why this so mad, but with the two gods next over is my Lingalade. Never mind, I have another cool god. Oh well, then just you wait until this. I had the time to start rambling about blah 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 blah. Ah, I hope people don't judge me for not being able to remember all my names. Just just wait until the day you meet Witheren. Now that's the cool dude. I love that guy. He's so chill. Mm-mm. Oh, my throat. I may stop soon. Well, have you met me? I forget names all the time. So, fair enough. Little creature got sent to jail. Da, da. What could I draw here? I, I am so stupid. Give me a second. Perfect. The faceless is among us. By the way, since we were talking about demons earlier, I'm gonna talk about their less fucked up counterparts, the devil from Bible. So basically, all devils are just humans who did very bad things in life, usually in some sort of divine sense. Like, stealing candy won't make you a devil, but murdering someone will. You know, something that really touches the god's nerves. And then, when you really fuck around and find out, your soul gets sent to the cell pit, where where you are basically trapped in this in your own personal type of punishment, as your newly made body slowly distorts itself to properly represent what kind of crime you're sent here for. And until eventually your punishment goes so deep that you become an amorphous mass of flesh in pain, almost mindless completely, and and you and you get released to basically become a reminder for the rest of the prisoners of what they will become if they don't earn their forgiveness somehow. Except that with the arrival of a very new individual, someone by the name of Nados, who decided he really had something to do about the person that caused him to get punished, instead somehow took the torture and the malformation of his body and eventually broke himself free and took control over hell. Except that he wasn't there to make friends with the devils. He was there to make sure that they all went through their own very self-same punishment. And the only way that a devil can somehow obtain forgiveness from Nados is if they go to the material plane, seek another fucked up. Why is the Mogus music playing now? God damn it. Go seek another fucked up individual, and then basically how do I say this? They basically search individuals who are breakers of promises and trust on some sort of way. Someone who breaks a promise, someone who breaks like an oath, rules, stuff like that. They seek them and they tantalize them with a deal to basically grant them whatever the deepest desire on their heart is in exchange for a price, with that price not being mentioned to be specifically them being irrevocably tied to the cell pit to be sent there like everyone else. And so if a devil manages to send enough evildoers to their punishment, they get freed from their own punishment and they're allowed to join Nados' highest ranks, or even they are allowed to seek their redemption and to get out of the cell pit instead, if they are willing to do that. So a lot of devils start getting a kick out of damning people to hell after a while. And this is because Nados specifically is searching for a very, very fucked up individual, a very, very fucked up mortal, who is responsible for him ending up in the cell pit. And he wants to make sure that this mortal ends up in the same fucking place no matter what. And that is his life's task, because unfortunately for him, this mortal is prolonging his life artificially right now to do some stuff. Due to some reasons. And so he will not rest until this motherfucker gets his rightful place. So yeah, this one of those guy literally shifted hell itself just for the sake of getting revenge on a bitch ass. Anados is kind of a pseudo god basically at this point, because the Cell Pit has kind of just accepted them as their de facto ruler after the guy just kind of imposed himself on the plane. So yeah, no, cool guy, cool lore. This guy, maybe one day he'll get his comeuppance, or maybe not. Who knows? Da-da-dum. Bum bum. God, I can't escape it. Someone help me. The Among is Us. And with that, I think that is enough doodling and talking for now. I need to save my voice for later. But before that, I will allow one in chat, probably Neo, because everyone else is either distracted or sleepy, to ask me a question about planes. Just considering what I've told you about deities and such, and about some planes and stuff, just ask me about any plane, be it elemental, a mirror of the material, part of the compass, the soul void, whatever you prefer, or even the astral sea. The astral sea, basically a space beyond planes that is basically an. You could say the astral sea is basically the how do I say it? The astral sea is basically the deepest divine. Oh, maybe it's about the astral sea. Okay, then I'll start talking about the astral sea. Is it safe to be in there? Kind of. The astral sea is a place where you don't need to breathe or eat or sleep. It is a place beyond the material plane, but it is also intricate to the material plane. It is basically an amorphous planar entity that extends to the material plane and beyond it to all the other planes on the compass, and that reaches up until the end of until the infinity of the universe, basically. And in it, oh God, sorry. It's a place between dream and reality, mind and matter. No. It's a place beyond dream and reality, mind and matter. Get it right. Nice reference, though. Okay, straight. But yeah, gosh, what was I gonna say? Here, let me go to my document so I can wax about it better. Okay, the astral waters, here it is. So, so less of a bedroom, more back rooms, basically. Oh, it seems like we ran out of songs in the list. Damn. Tu-tu-ta. Mm. But yeah, the Astral Sea is basically the bleeding essence of all the different planes in the universe. Well, I guess the multiverse in the setting. And they're basically the mixed waters that comes from those essences. It is it is it is basically a place, how do I describe it? It's complicated. Give me a second. I'll try my best. Ta, 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 ta. Then the entire the entire astral waters is a frontier, basically. It is the frontiers between the planes and also the frontiers with what's beyond, which is the soul void. That is basically, the soul void is basically outside of all the other planes, but also within all of them. It's a bit contradictory, but I promise it makes sense. And the astral sea is basically that space that exists between the planes, where their where their essences, their energies, and all of that mix together into one heterogeneous, well, basically water, where all these different essences are mixed together and they just dilute slowly and slowly until making it something completely sterile for every single type of creature. And in this frontier is where the souls of entities too grand to ever really die or ever be reincarnated are housed, because all living beings come from the soul void. Their souls, the soul void, which is outside all the planes, but so that it is not tainted by all the planes, but is also intrinsically connected with every single one of the planes, so that souls can flow in and out. Whenever a creature is born in its plane, a soul from the soul void will leave the place and inhabit that creature. The soul will then slowly adapt with the experiences, memories, and life of the creature, and eventually it will become a mature and tainted soul. Then that soul is taken to the Shadowfell after whatever dilly-dallying may happen before, and in there that soul will be judged by Cerebra, where the soul will be either, if it's tainted by a powerful divine force, the soul will be sent to that divine force, and if the soul isn't tainted enough, then it will be instead cleansed completely by Cerebra and sent back to the soul void. Now, what happens with an entity that doesn't really die, or that is too grand to have a soul that can be transient like that? That is where the astral sea comes, the astral waters come in. An area sterile enough so that souls cannot be tainted by the influence of different planes, but also intrinsic enough to all planes so that these souls can exist within it, while also feeding the life that exists outside of them. And all of this is to say, hi Pain, that the astral waters is where the souls of stars and deities reside. Extremely powerful forces that literally have so much energy and so much power to them that they literally destroy matter around them. It's not a god afterlife. It is literally where the souls of these things are housed. So, like, every star has its soul be in the astral plane, because the soul of something as powerful as a star or a god is too powerful to be kept in a proper material place. And that is because, again, these souls have a lot of energy and power to them. They are souls that have the power to reshape reality around them. or that have the power to basically bring light and life to millions of entities, thousands of millions of kilometers away. And so these souls are so powerful that rather than being tainted by stuff around them, they instead burn away at everything around them with a fierce force. Which is why I before said that the astral waters are safe, kinda. Because as long as you are in the presence of one of these souls, your material form will slowly start being. Hey, I got double paid at work. Hey, nice. Will slowly be peeled away. You will start losing aspects of yourself. Your personality will start becoming duller. Your emotions will become thinner. Yeah, basically. They are in an area where the essence of other planes is not strong enough to affect them, and they're in a place where they cannot affect matter with their power. But yeah, people who are in the astral sea will have their emotions slowly fade away. They will have their identity slowly be lost little by little, dust by dust. And I mean, it's not immediately not safe. Like, this is a very slow process, unless you literally get, like, right in front of the soul. It will slowly peel away at your identity, your beliefs, your body. You will slowly start becoming more pale, then more translucent, then less physical, until eventually you lose all sense of self and all your body, and your soul becomes completely purified, instantly returning to the soul void. So yeah, like I said, the astral waters are safe. You can traverse them, but if you stay too long in them, you will slowly lose yourself until you disappear forever. Because the soul of a deity or a star is something so powerful and so unchangeable that it will literally use all its power to basically reject all taint around them. No, it's not. It's not hard. If you have the means to get in there, that means you have the means to get out. It's the same kind of spell, basically. What is hard is to get in there. That is the part that is hard. And there's also certain entities that exist in the astral waters. They think anything outside of them is taint, yes, because the thing about souls is that any influence will change them forever. Like I said, your memories, the deities you believe in, the things you do with your body, all of that shapes your soul, changes it. But something like a star or a deity cannot be changed. So instead, they just destroy anything that could be a source of change around them. So yeah, never get close to one of those. Yeah, the biggest danger in the astral waters is that there are creatures that actually live there, and specifically feed on those who are peeled away enough, or those who astral travel into the plane. With astral project, because basically you can reach the astral waters through astral projection, where instead of sending your whole body into the astral waters, you send instead your soul in a pseudo body. And obviously, the entities that live in that plane will smell that and be like, "Ooh, free meal!" They sent us a soul in a silver platter, brothers. Let us have not throw Poppy into the astral water. Oh, amazing. But yeah, I think with that last little bit of lore, I will stop now for today. My throat is a bit sore, and I also need to rest a bit before campaign time. But I do hope all of you enjoy it greatly. Let me just switch over to the end. Yeah, I will post the doodle, don't worry. Save as session 2, and then save as session2.png. There. There we go. So yeah, with that done, I hope all of you enjoyed very dearly this episode of today. Sorry, Neo. Should have posted it earlier. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Neo, Payne, Spec, Saber, Cypher, Kaden, everyone who came. You're all lovely. Love you all so much. Hey, yo, only pains? Come, channel god. Yeah, I said Spec. But yeah, thank you all for being here. You've been lovely. I will see you next week for Slay the Princess. And by that I mean tomorrow. Although I will be very tired, but I'll try my best. See you all later. Bye bye.